Welcome back to Stick to Fitness, brought to you by myself and my co-host Archie. And for today's topic of discussion is, can you out-train a bad diet? So what do you think, Archie? You know, I see you bought some running shoes this off-season. What's going on? Is that subliminal messaging?
I think the overall answer is no. But then it depends what contributes to that bad diet and what that looks like. So I think that's down to perception of what a bad diet actually is.
Yeah.
So if you're having a takeaway a day, is that a bad diet if you're still in a calorie deficit for the day? For that makes sense, for example.
Let's call a bad diet overeating. So you're going to be in a surplus of calories.
But then your training is going to counteract that. So it depends.
No, as in you'll be in a surplus. So
you'll be in a surplus? No,
yeah,
then I would say no, that you can't out-train.
I think, again, it depends on... we have to caveat that more by saying how often is it? Are we talking about a surplus of calories, once a week? Or are we talking about every single day? I think that's obviously going to have different effects. Because all of it is... It's going to be based on calorie deficit, right? It's going to be based on energy in, energy out. And because it's based on energy in and out, technically, you could train a bad diet.
What I will say to that is, I think it's how people respond after having that day or meal where they have overeaten. So what comes next? If it's a Saturday, do you think, well, the weekend's ruined, so I need to carry that on into Sunday? Which people do, or or is their response, which also I don't think is the correct response, is it that if they have it on Saturday night or whatever, is it then, for Sunday I'm not going to eat absolutely anything, I'm going to do double what I should do, and then come to like Monday or Tuesday in the week, they then built up a deficit that they can't handle, and they overeat again. So it is a vicious cycle that you can go around potentially with, and the response that comes next. If you have your meal and then you think, okay, fine, let me move on to the next day, continue with my training as normal and do what I need to do.
But let's say, it doesn't matter, like however much you eat. Let's say you eat 3,000 calories, right? What if you burn 3,000 calories?
Well, then you just maintain, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but let's say you burn 3,500. Does that mean, then you can out-train the diet, right?
But how sustainable is, if you're going to burn 3,500 calories a day?
But let's
just say you're going to do 1,500 just through existing.
Yeah.
And then the rest is all going to come from either cardio or weight training or whatever you do. How long can you sustain that level of intensity in training to generate that deficit?
But let's say it's not about how long. It's just if it was to happen. Let's say you could sustain it. Is that possible?
Well, yeah, then it would be possible. I don't think that you can sustain a normal person.
Normal person. But a non-normal person could.
Well, I don't know. It depends who's not normal.
Okay.
Do you think that's the appropriate method to be?
I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, is it possible?
Well, I think it is possible, but I think, like I said, the response that then comes with it is going to make it a lot harder for people to sustain it.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a few things to consider here. Because, I think we always gain weight faster than we're going to lose weight, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you look at how much weight how much calories can you save, right? You can maybe be in 1,000 calorie deficit, 1,500 before it becomes almost unbearable, right? But how many calories can you overeat by? And you could back like 10k calories.
I feel like you want to give this a go.
I think.
Well, who was that? There was someone online definitely that did. I'm going to eat 10,000 calories and burn 10,000 calories.
Did someone do that?
Yeah, there's definitely a video out. I can't remember. I have to.
Is it you?
I'll just do the eating part, not the burning part. Do the eating part before midday. But I think someone out there has someone. I'll have to show it to you. It's definitely out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it work? Like, what was the result?
I can't remember.
You don't know?
It might have been like Eric the Electric or someone.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. He's definitely
the man to do it.
Yeah. If you're watching like on prep, he's the guy in it.
Yeah,
everyone watches him.
He's the go-to.
He's nuts.
Yeah. So, but
I don't watch him outside of prep though.
No. But like again though, with him, he's lean.
Yeah,
like he is super lean.
He's gained weight over time. He's not like, if you watch him every time I watch him in prep, he's heavier. His overall body like weight is higher than what it would.
He does a lot. He does do strength from weight training as well, though.
I don't think he's necessarily gained muscle like in that way. I think
you think he's just packed on the pounds.
If you ever watch, I don't know if you've ever followed any like food bloggers or stuff like that. Right?
No, yeah.
I always say that because my wife loves watching food content.
Well, it's like the Man v Food, isn't it?
Has he changed that much?
He did over time, but he was having a serious health problem. That's why he had to stop doing the show.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, because he would like starve himself all day. I don't believe he was exercising. I don't believe he was.
Yeah. He doesn't look like someone that
no, but he would not eat for like the day before he was going to do like these big challenges and stuff. But obviously the amount of calories that he was consuming in that challenge was enough to last him 4 days. Like, yeah, do you know what I mean? So, but I think Eric the Electric is a decent example of where the amount of output that he's doing warrants.
I think he has to, because sometimes
warrants the amount of food, and obviously he can eat as well.
Sometimes he's doing those 10,000 calorie challenges, and there's like, when you eat that much, you have to do exercise, otherwise it hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt. Yeah,
it hurts. Like your stomach is so full.
You've done 10,000 calorie challenge before?
I don't know if I've done 10,000, but I've definitely given it a shot.
Yeah,
whether or not there's a target limit there.
Well, I've done 10.
You've done 10?
I've done 15.
Wow.
Did 10. Sorry.
Is that? Did you get a plaque for that?
No, it's very expensive though as well to do these challenges. Yeah.
You just did that off your own bat. You didn't record it for YouTube.
Didn't record it. I just did it. Yeah.
Was that just like a casual Sunday?
10,000 calories. I think I was 20. It must have been 22.
When was that, last week?
No, I'm getting old now, man. And 15.
Why? When did you do it? Was it after a competition?
No, it wasn't after competition. I did a diet when I was 21. And then I just got obsessed, not obsessed, but I was big into my powerlifting when I was like coming towards the end of 21, 22.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those days where I was just like,
I should do this challenge.
I was at McDonald's drive-through at like 6:30 in the morning, just getting pancakes, all this. And I was like, well, I might as well just try and do.
I wonder if I can hit 10,000 calories. Is it one of those?
What, you think that you can?
No, you.
Me.
In that moment, were you like at McDonald's going, I wonder if I can do 10. Is that what happened? And then
no, I mean the breakfast I had was, I remember because I did it obviously in my fitness pal. So I'm sure if I could recall what day it was, I'd be able to go back in time and have a look.
Okay.
But there was a lot of Krispy Kremes. Bro, it's just like eating air.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I could have a dozen. Did you just have the plain ones?
No.
Did you have any? You had some Biscoff.
I like the ones. Wow. I like the ones with custard in. Nutella one.
Did you feel good after that?
After 10,000 calories?
Yeah.
I didn't feel as bad as I thought I was going to feel. Obviously, I don't think if I did it now where I'm not. I think if you do it when you can't for prep, you're going to feel terrible.
Yeah.
But if you just do it like on a day, I think sometimes without thinking about it, I get up to about 5,000 without thinking. If I have a takeaway, definitely.
I think a lot of people are in the same place.
But I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like if you're eating your normal breakfast, which is like probably like carb heavy.
Yeah.
With whatever, then you eat your lunch again, which is carb heavy, and then you in the evening you're having like, if you're ordering the Domino's, a large pizza, a couple of sides.
I mean, you eat out 3 times a day, you easily hit 3,000.
Yeah,
easy. Even if you just eat 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you can smack that.
Yeah.
Because my Nando's meal, I have half a chicken, coleslaw.
This is where we're different.
Half a chicken, coleslaw. I can't eat that much. Half a chicken, coleslaw, and garlic bread. Right, bro, that's 1,200, 1,500 calories.
Well, I'll go Nando's and I'll get the full platter, the whole chicken and 4 sides.
Obviously, you're sharing that with your family, right?
No. Like I said, the first time went out with my girlfriend, who wasn't my girlfriend at the time, we went to Nando's after like a school event.
Yeah.
And that's what I ordered, and she was like...
You ordering for all of us?
Yeah. It was just me and her.
Oh, wow.
She took a photo of it. She couldn't believe it. And I said, yeah. I remember I was going to train afterwards.
Yeah.
I used to train... When I was training at Virgin Active, shout out Virgin Active, when it was decent back in the day.
Old type Virgin.
I'd finish uni, I'd go to Subway, I'd get a double meat Italian BMT.
What's BMT?
The meat one. I can't remember what it stands for.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Bacon.
No. What, is it BMT? It must be BMT. I'm sure it's BMT. The one with like salami, pepperoni, ham.
I don't know, man.
Get the double cheese.
I only buy one thing from... I get the meatball marinara, that's it.
But I would do that, and then I'd take it from Subway, walk down to the gym, sit in on the little sofa area, eat my sandwich, go straight into the gym and do some heavy squats. Wow. No issue.
No follow through, no?
No, nothing.
Wow.
Wouldn't affect me.
High performance.
Literally, that is the peak. That's when I was at peak strength though as well.
I think you're a proper athlete.
That is when I was at peak strength.
Yeah, there's a peak athleticism right here.
Yeah, literally. Didn't throw up, nothing.
Nothing.
No. Could just put it away. Rainbow cookie as well.
Wow.
But I think there's obviously, if you're at a point where you need to get that level of food in.
I think that's the issue, right? A lot of people underestimate the calories that they consume.
Massively. I think that is the two biggest things that I find with people which they underestimate their calories is in alcohol and the sauce consumption. Bro, sauce is crazy.
It's madness, isn't it?
The amount of like mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is good though.
Yeah,
I always say that I don't like mayonnaise, but I actually quite like it.
But like, if you're like covering your, like even like Nando's again, Pyrenees. People are killing two of those Pyrenees a time. That's like an additional 300 odd calories just through mayonnaise. Then you're adding the sauces on top, and you're adding like anywhere between 300 to 500 calories of just sauce in one meal.
Because you look at the meal, right? You look at the menu and it's like 300 calories for this butterfly chicken. You're like, cool, I'll get that. 300 calories, easy. Boom, yeah. But then you're also having this sauce with it.
Yeah.
That's adding like probably another 100 calories, right?
Easy.
50, easy.
Every single time. So every meal people are having, apart from maybe breakfast, they're just adding calories.
I think it's very difficult to stay under 1,000 calories on a menu. Like if you're going out to eat or if you're eating out.
Well, I don't know. I think it depends where you're going.
It's tough, man. Because if I look at, even 500 calories, you look up McDonald's, right? You can now select it under calories, right? Yeah. Once you click 500, their menu's big, right? There's like over 100 items easy, right? But there's 3 things. One of them's like that pineapple stick.
If they do the grilled chicken breast in a wrap, that's like 380 or something. Take out the mayo.
But that's still over 300, calories. You know what I mean? That's someone's breakfast.
It is. You know what I mean? I think people do underestimate.
You can eat. I could eat 6 of those. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I could.
I think people. I agree with you. People do massively underestimate what it is they're eating. It's like I'm doing all this working out, all this training. I don't even eat anything. And it's like, okay, well, what I want you to do is like share with me your MyFitnessPal and put in roughly what you're eating, because you don't have to. People aren't going to be weighing out everything to the gram if they're just thinking that. And then if you actually like weigh out a serving of peanut butter or a serving of butter, like when you're buttering your sandwich or whatever, a serving of mayonnaise, which is like 15 grams.
It's nothing, is it?
15 grams will only get you about a quarter of your slice of bread. Yeah. And when you look at it from that point of view, then you start thinking, oh, like, this is where I'm going wrong. And the training isn't of a level to support with that. That's why I was saying about, to burn X amount of 3,000 calories in a day, your training is going to have to be you have to be a high level athlete, pretty intense, training like pretty intense.
Yeah, for sure.
To do that. So
I think one thing that's really cool, and one of my favorite videos of all time on YouTube is Casey Neistat's video on calories. Funny enough, it's way back in the day. And he was testing whether or not the calories on certain foods were actually accurate. And he went into this university and they have what's called a calorimeter. So that's how it's quite expensive to use. You can imagine. But it's there to, I don't know what they do, but they figure out how many calories are in the food.
Well, they burn the food, don't they? And
I think they burn.
It produces.
But obviously, they have a machine for that. You don't just light a flame.
They put it into it. But I think the essence is they burn the item.
Yeah,
and
that's what energy is.
How much fuel they get from it or whatever it is will determine the amount of calories in it. But
so he bought a few things that he always has, and then he went to the university and
tested it.
Yeah, and all of them, apart from Subway, was over the calories.
Really?
Whether it was 150. So even though you might be tracking your calories on MyFitnessPal, a lot of times it's inaccurate.
But I think that's where consistency comes into play. Where that's why I try to, when I'm dieting, I'm quite happy to eat the same thing every single day.
But even if you ate the same thing, in your head, you might be tracking it thinking, I'm having 1,500 calories. But actually, every single item that you're having is off by a little bit,
Yeah.
you're probably still having 2,000 calories.
Well, isn't it? Am I right in saying that legally they're allowed to be like up to 20% off?
I think it depends.
On the packaging?
I think it depends on what the item is. So I believe, I don't know if this is everywhere. I think this is in America. I remember Lane Norton saying it. I think when it's like under 50 calories, they have like less leeway. If it's over like 100 calories, then they could be out by 50 calories. So if the thing is 100 calories, it could actually be 150 calories.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that adds up.
Well, it does. If you're eating that, you're going to eat that same item 10 times a day,
Mm.
and you're saying it's 100, but then you're saying it's 100 calories, and you think you're having 1,000. Well, actually, you're having 1,500. That's that's quite a big. 500 calories is a lot.
Yeah. So I think it's largely inaccurate, and even if you are being accurate, you don't really know 100% if you are taking it.
It's not.
That
I
level.
think been tracking food myself for a long time, and it's like you get pretty good at eyeballing things, but then when you're eyeballing it, I don't know. I'm quite harsh with like portion sizes or whatever. So then then you actually end up under eating as well if you're trying to be like in a gaining phase. But I think only through time can you try and understand what an actual serving is like. But until you physically do a week or two of tracking everything to the gram of what you're eating, you'll never be able to understand what those serving sizes actually look like. Mm. It's like, bro, like the big tub of garlic sauce in Domino's is something crazy. Like, I think it's near 1,000.
1,000 calories for that?
For the big one. It's just oil, isn't it? It's just oil.
Mayo as well, no? It's got some green in it. Must be some vegetables in there.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
We don't do veg around here. But when I was reading that, because even the little one is like 350 odd or something. You just come in and you're like, well, I need some more. So then you
need more, right?
Yeah, you do end up ordering that big one. And you're like, you're already eating a 2,500, 3,000 calorie pizza, then adding on top more. It's just, it's crazy.
You cannot diet with pizza, man. Like, it ain't on that list. Do you know what I mean? I think, people, like a lot of coaches will say, you can eat whatever you want, right, and lose weight. What if I want, what if the whatever I want is a whole pizza every day?
Yeah, I think
it ain't happening, man.
Also, in your ideal athlete, that can sustain this high level of performance can't have a pizza every single day.
Not at highly. I think for a lot of people who are smaller, which like your average population.
Yeah.
I don't think
the 80 kilos.
Even obviously, there's a lot of people. Around about 80 kilos and less, right? It's a lot of calories to consume. Like, it might be their whole day's worth of calories. Like for a female,
these people are having it, once a week. I know, takeaway sort of thing.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are eating. You go out for, maybe they go out for breakfast. They go to Starbucks. They have a little, latte kind of thing.
Yeah, the latte. Boom. I had a latte the other day. It cost a large latte 250 calories. And it cost me a $5.
Did you put any cream on the top?
No.
That's what I mean.
That's just milk.
What about cream? What about that? And then some people like a bit of sugar, you know what I mean? That's a mad.
When I saw that though, that shocked me.
Carries a madness.
Well, in coffee.
Yeah. You're just drinking it.
You're just drinking it.
Yeah.
Guys, don't drink your calories. Please. Dangerous.
Nice though.
It is nice, but even if you switch to a skimmed one, and when you don't need to get a large one, you go down to the medium one, or.
Yeah.
But I think as well, it's about
just get a Monster.
Yeah, I love a Monster.
Just get a Monster.
Absolute best drink.
See, I don't take any caffeine. I was telling you before, right? What was it that purple drink that you had?
Yeah,
What's it called?
Buzz or something.
Buzz, yeah. So
Buzz Energy.
You had loads of those caffeine drinks, right? When we were on that contest day. I think when I was. Well, you were there for like a day before, right?
Towards on the back end of prep, I was having the Trained by JP Fat Burn. That's 350 milligrams a serving.
Is it?
Yeah. Your Hymsuen. On the way to work, I'd have a Monster.
Big man.
Then at work, I'd have up to 3 coffees a day.
Yeah.
So you're looking at another 150 milligrams. And then 100% before training, 2 scoops of MVP.
That's mad.
So that's...
Basically, you are caffeine. I am caffeine.
I'm still stimmed out from that now. No, I think caffeine consumption I think that comes into play when you're talking about how much you eat as well. Because I think it's like people that wake up and have a cigarette. That's it helps to suppress your appetite. But at some point, once that effect wears off, for however long it is, what's it, 8-hour afterlife or something? Once,
you ain't getting no afterlife.
No, I'm stimmed all the time, which is bad because then at some point, then you do feel that sense that when you come,
I don't know how you sleep.
when it eventually comes out of your system, you are starving, and then that leads to sort of overeating and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I still have that purple drink in my house because I don't take any.
That was like 2 years ago.
I don't take any.
You should have bought it today, and I would have had it.
Oh, next time I'll bring it. I'll bring it. It can be our token on the show. But yeah, I don't have it because I just don't. I just don't take any caffeine from that. But yeah, I forget where we were in terms of dieting. But 1,000, yeah.
I think talking about the accuracy of the labels and how that can be so off.
Right.
Because if you're someone, you're having a Tesco meal deal every day, which people do. I think that was one of the key things that Tesco brought out. And it's one of the good things about Tesco is that you can just go and you have got a real variety, but what end of the spectrum you decide to spend your £3.50 on?
I do like a meal deal.
It's up to you.
I think it's great because you can get a 500 calorie sandwich, right? It's got 30 grams of protein in it. You get a drink. Doesn't have to be it.
No, you just get water.
Yeah, you get water.
You can get little protein bars.
You can get protein yogurt as well. Shout out Graham's.
Yeah,
you can get that if you don't get the shits.
But I think a lot of people overeating is about choice and whether they're aware. Well, yeah, because you can't hide it now. Everything is labelled.
But what if certain people are more predisposed to being hungry than others? Is that still a choice?
Well, why would they be more predisposed? What, just based on what?
Based on genetics.
So genetically they're more hungry.
It's possible, man. Look at dogs. Look at dogs, right? You got 2 dogs. One dog is like just there watching you eat every time, and then you got other dog that wakes up, kind of doesn't really look at the food. You have that within dogs. We have that within humans for sure. I think there's a largely the demographic of people didn't have the money, they didn't have the education around the food, so then they're forced to be. They don't really know what good food or what bad food is or whatever you want to call it, what foods are high in calories, because they don't know how to read the label, those kind of things. Yes, you could learn, but there isn't. They're just trying to keep themselves alive, right? Whatever food that they can kind of get their hands on.
But I still think the amount which they're having.
But some people, like I said, they're more hungry than other people. Like they're more predisposed. So if you've been overweight for many, many years, that person is going to want to, their ability to lose weight or their ability to feel hunger is going to be very different to someone who's naturally lean all the time.
But at what point then does that person say no to that hunger response that they're having?
That just comes down to, obviously, that becomes a choice, but not everybody's choices are balanced, if that makes sense. So they don't have the same level, right? The difficulty and the hardness is different from one person to another.
But it's like the same with alcohol though, isn't it? It's like, do people want 1 pint? Well, some people want 1. Some people want 10. There's not a demand on the body for you to have 10. I
think it's more so like that if you are addicted to alcohol. Like if you're alcoholic and you're addicted to it.
So do you think that you can then be addicted to food?
It's not necessarily addiction, but it's a predisposition to it. You don't know. Like when we finish prep, right? That sensation.
Yeah.
But some people have that all the time.
No, I can't believe that.
Genuinely, people have that all the time. Maybe not to that degree, but I think people have that all the time.
But then something then is not measuring up within them, if that makes sense. So they're not. Yes, they may be hungry, but then they're lacking elsewhere. Are they dehydrated?
Sometimes it's just.
Have they not like waking up and being starving?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But it may not necessarily be that. It may be that they eat the calories that they can have, but they still feel like they need more.
But I think a lot of people feel like they need more of whatever it is.
No, but that's what I mean. A lot of people do feel that, but
so then
it's still controllable.
But they still have to then be able to say, actually, this is what I want, but I'm not prepared to.
But then if you put yourself into that prep mindset where you're like, there's only so long that you can do that for. I agree that there is choices, like in terms of you make poor food decisions and your calories are like McDonald's all the time and junk food, right? Naturally, yeah, you what do you expect? You are.
Also, I don't think it's just about the food which they're consuming. Like, you could easily just have a bowl of pasta with some tomato sauce on it, but whether you choose to have
ketchup, yeah.
No, if you choose to have like a one serving of that pasta, or if you're like, oh well, there's only a little bit left, I might as well just cook the whole bag. Yeah. And then before you know it, you've eaten the whole. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to. You
can leave it.
Yeah, of course you can, but you didn't. Or then you've said, well, I've done my portion, done my partner's portion or whatever, done the kids' portions or whoever. There's a little bit left. You don't have to eat it. You don't have to go back and have it. Same way you haven't got to clear up your partner's plate, or you haven't got to clear up your kids' plates or whatever.
I thought you had to.
No, you don't have to do that.
Damn, I've been telling myself that.
Tip 101, don't do that.
I've been keep finishing my daughter's
but over time, all those little extra things that you don't actually... It's like if you go to a restaurant and... I try... This is what people that I work with, a lot of people, they're quite sociable, so we'll plan what the sort of day looks like for them in the lead up to that event, so they don't feel guilty about having what they actually want. So we'll discuss what they want. I'm not going to tell people what to eat. You're going out with your friends, you want to be sociable, but we'll have a plan around... If you're going to if you want pasta and garlic bread for dinner, then maybe your carbs will have to be a little bit lower in the daytime to account for that, because otherwise you will just end up overeating. So you still then, but that takes awareness, and there has to be a pre-plan in place for that.
But then it becomes very difficult because people underestimate how many calories that you don't really know how many calories are going in.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't
got a clue.
You haven't got a clue. But that's why it's better to be overshoot it in the daytime.
But even if you overshoot it, it's possible to go over. Just one meal.
Yeah.
For females especially.
No, yeah, females especially.
Let's say they got PCOS, they got thyroid issues, they have 1,200 calories. It's not uncommon for them in order to lose weight, right? But like I said, my Nando's orders 1,500 calories.
Yeah. But if you turn your head to the left or the right, there'll be a 70 kilos female eating the same meal.
Yeah, that's it.
But then be wondering, why can't I get in shape?
I think it's definitely a tricky one, because not only do you not know how many calories that you are consuming, but also people overestimate how many calories they burn as well. So those Apple Watches, as great as they are, like I love Apple too. Apple cult.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it's tricky because you don't know how many calories you're actually burning. Like when that watch says you've, burnt 1,000 calories. Like
could be 800.
Have you?
Could be 500.
What are they basing that algorithm off? Are they basing it off your body weight? Because they certainly aren't weighing you.
Yep, doesn't ask for it.
So I think the amount that people look at that and they think, that's that amount of calories, I've burnt that. Maybe I can eat that.
Well, that was a feature that MyFitnessPal had, wasn't it? Where it's like you could log your exercise, and then it would add more. Away. Yeah, it would add more calories onto your day, basically, because it would be like, well, you've done your exercise, now you can eat. If you've done 500 calories worth of exercise, you can eat 500 calories more. And I think that's where get into a lot of debates with people about the slimming world and the sins, where it's like potatoes and no sins, bro. Slimming world, you can have as many potatoes as you like.
That's so weird, though, isn't it?
It's really it's a hard concept, and I can't understand how people have made the progress that they've made on that, if that makes sense.
But maybe they're not picking that many things with no sins. Maybe they're sinning hard, and they're like, I've got to limit myself.
But like, it's crazy. Yeah. Crazy, like things like pasta, and there's no limit. Yeah. You could have that whole bag of pasta and be like, it's not a sin. Like, but he's like, okay, but that's like 1,000 grams of carbs just in one bag of pasta. But and I'm not saying people will eat but a whole bag of pasta.
But they could.
But they could, in effect, yeah. Like if I wanted to go and do it, that'd be a It'd be like a gaining program for me.
I'm not really too clued up on Slimming World in terms of what is considered a sin and what isn't. I think there was something about that I saw. If you ate a whole banana, it is a sin, but then if you mashed it up, it isn't, or something like that.
I don't know.
But I don't get how it's different, but
it has changed. It has changed, like I said,
strange.
but people can still make progress, but there's no emphasis on like the portion sizing of things,
for sure.
which I can't fathom. I can't understand it. But
I think in terms of Slimming World, it's one of those things where it's probably not.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do whatever fits into with your lifestyle. So if following a Slimming World plan is what's best for you, then by all means, is it what I would do? Would I recommend it? Probably not, no. But like I said, I know people that have made significant progress on that.
But you don't know how much. Maybe they're burning loads. Maybe they're doing their counter.
Yeah, but I think maybe they're just not eating at all, and then they're just having their sins. No, but they might not eat. They might not be eating in the daytime. Then come to the evening time, they're eating enough until they're full, which still puts them into a deficit for that day.
But I think that the whole Apple Watch and the fitness trackers, it makes people think that, and that whole MyFitnessPal thing, it makes people think that you can out-train a bad diet, right? Because if I eat this much, then as long as I burn that much, that's fine. But because you're always playing catch up, because the amount of food that you can eat is going to far exceed the amount that you can burn in terms of time, in terms of the intensity, your body is going to be absolutely shot. And it's almost like a vicious cycle, because let's say I want to go for this meal, which is 1,000 calories, right? But in order to do that, I need to burn 1,000 calories. But then after you burn 1,000 calories, I don't know about you, but I'm fucking starving. You know, and I want to eat more. So then you end up eating 1,500. I've overeaten. Now I need to do another 500 calories extra to burn. So you're always kind of playing that catch-up game, and that's what makes it really difficult. And then in terms of sustainability, I think it's very difficult because you don't know how much that you are actually really burning, and you don't know how much that you really are consuming. You know, there's things like thermic effects of feeding. So where, it takes calories. You have to burn calories to consume those calories. So things like protein is you're going to burn more calories to digest protein, and things like fat. So it's not going to be even. So if you ate something like a slab of butter, it's going to be very different. The amount of calories that you consume from that is going to be very different to if you ate just pure chicken breast, even if the calories are equated, because of that thermic effect of feeding as well. So can you out-train a bad diet?
I'm going to say no.
I think you can technically, but
I think a lot of things have to
it's going to be very inefficient.
And a lot of things have to fall into place for you to be able, like, if you're going to be successful, there's a lot of things that have to go right for you to be successful with that.
I think it's very, very tough. Boom. So with that, if you like this podcast and you are trying to run away from your food, then we may be able to help you. You can find me at Gym With Him on Instagram, and Archie is at Archie13 with 2 E's. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.